Eden Hagos couldn't find anything online that explored the world of food from a Black perspective. So she decided to start her own website. And she joins us now to talk about Black Foodie, an online community and events company promoting African and Caribbean cuisine and dining experiences. Eden, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So I just mentioned it, a brief flyover in general terms, but tell us more specifically about the genesis of Black Foodie.
Yeah, so it started for a number of reasons. I came from a food family, so they had opened an Ethiopian restaurant in my hometown. And so I grew up around the food, but I was ashamed of it. And it took a negative experience here in Toronto to open my eyes and get me thinking about, you know, where does my food come from? Where did the shame come from? And how can I get other people to celebrate our voices and our foods? And
so you start this website, and what was the response?
It was really positive. I think there were a lot of people like me who had grown up, you know, afraid of bringing their ethnic food to lunch. You know, they were afraid of maybe eating with their hands, and they were ready for something that, like, dived into that perspective and helped them embrace their own food.
Black Foodie has gone from simply being a website to being an online community, and now it's also an events company. Talk to me about some of the events that you host.
Yeah, sure. So I love food, and I know a lot of other people do too, so it's not something you can just look up online. You want to come and eat and experience it with us. So we have food competitions like Jollof Wars, where we have West African rice battles, or food day parties like Injera and Chill, where it's all about Ethiopian cuisine. And we hope to do more this year.
And is it true you've been able to travel because of this website? What are some of your favorite food experiences?
There are so many, but I'm going to keep it Canadian.
Yes.
So I love going to Montreal. There is such a big Haitian community there. And so you can get like some of the best griot, the best pickles, some of the best Haitian food, I think, here in North America. And then there's also a lot of like Senegalese food there in Montreal too. So I'd say skip the poutine and go try some African food.
Now, you know, when I first moved here, I like looking back at old pictures of Toronto. And the Toronto of the 1970s is not the Toronto of today.
Yeah.
It was like today it's such a vibrant, multicultural city.
Yeah.
Do you think that because all of these cultures are colliding on a daily basis and the city is full of energy, do you think people are more excited and more interested to explore cultures that aren't their own?
Yeah, I do think that people in Toronto are more open-minded, but I think we still have a long way to go, especially when it comes to our openness to African cuisine. Like, I would love to see more people in Toronto going out for jollof rice, trying some Ghanaian food, trying
what do you think the stumbling block is? What's the barrier to entry?
A lot of things. One, I think that people tend to have misconceptions about what African food is. They're not aware of like the diversity of that cuisine. And I think they need websites like Black Foodie where they can learn and find where to go in the city.
Well, tell me, as someone who's not familiar with that type of food, if I were to go for a meal of African food, and that's such a broad term, I'm sure, but what are some of the flavors and spices and foods that are common to that type of cuisine?
It's so diverse that I don't know if I can like...
Okay, I'm not a vegetarian. How about that?
Okay, dang. Well, if you were a vegetarian, I would recommend going for Ethiopian cuisine. I am Ethiopian, so of course I'm going to gravitate towards that. There's so many great restaurants, especially on the Danforth, and whether you're vegetarian or not, you can experience a great meal there.
Yeah. Well, listen, congratulations on this, and congratulations that you've built such a positive community online and created something that didn't exist before. I think it's a really valuable tool, so congratulations and thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.